Thank you for joining us for another episode of Tracy Takes On, the show that talks about all things politics. I am joined by my co-panelists, Charles and Talisha. Say hello, guys, to everyone that's watching.
Hi.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, so as of this taping, tomorrow is the day that the U.S. is scheduled to withdraw from Afghanistan after 20 years in that country. And in my opinion, I still forget why it is that we went there in the first place. But what are you guys' thoughts about the execution? Whether we may at the last minute get an extension, or what are your overall thoughts about what's going on with that?
Well, the last plane had left already, so all the troops are gone today. They just broke that in the news. So, the execution, I think, it wasn't thought out. It was just like a reaction. They didn't think this thing out, and because they withdrew, and then they came back to get the Americans and Afghans who wanted to leave. And I didn't understand why they didn't do all that before they withdrew the first time. That didn't make any sense because they had some type of control, but now when they came back, now they're trying to get some control, and the Taliban had, pretty much took everything over, and it was hard for people to get to the airport to leave. So I really don't think that was thought out. I think when Trump negotiated for peace, the Afghanistan administration was not represented at the table. It was just
Right.
between the United States and the Taliban. So to me, that's pretty much saying, well, Trump just gave the country back to the Taliban with pretty much no restrictions or anything. I mean, I can't say it's true, but I really believe that if he had got reelected, there wouldn't have been any plan to evacuate anybody other than Americans to get them out of there. They wouldn't even care about Afghanistan, give them back to the Taliban. And
Right.
then what's bad is we've came a whole circle in 20 years that the US went in there and removed the Taliban from power, and then turned around and put them right back into power 20 years later. And the only difference is now they're better armed because of all the weapons that were left behind by the US.
Yep. Now, Talisha, because I got a whole long rant about this one to go.
Well, I first think once we killed bin Laden, reportedly, we should have got gone. There was no reason for us to stay for 20 whole years. And just like Charles said, nothing has been accomplished. Like other than his death, we really just wasted a whole bunch of money, several $1 trillion. So it's sick, and the war profiteers got rich. And I wouldn't so put on a pedestal the Afghan government, because they hauled tail as soon as the troops started to take off and left their people behind to die and be subjugated and to be, R word, So it definitely was a bad withdrawal plan, if there was any. But I did read where Trump and his little weasel, Stephen Miller, I think, they were actually holding up the paperwork for all the Afghan allies that were interpreters, that were basically, going covert to get information, and they stopped them knowing that they would be murdered. They held up their paperwork purposely. So I don't know if same thing. Biden went in thinking, a lot of the legwork was done and we were just going to, follow through with what the previous administration started. But somebody didn't, cross their T's and dot their I's. And now people are dying, people are being tortured, and, God only knows what's going to happen once we're officially gone.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we're dropping bombs on people again and killing innocent civilians, creating more terrorists. So there's that.
Yeah, isn't that great? This, I have so many thoughts, and they're all just kind of all spread out all over the place, because this war is all over the place. Not only did we spend $2.5 trillion, all the soldiers who lost their lives. I don't know why previous presidents, Trump, well, I don't acknowledge his presidency, Obama, why they just kept letting that war go. We created an atmosphere where those people in that country had to be dependent on us. Think about it. We invaded their country to kill Osama bin Laden. We killed Osama bin Laden, but we didn't evacuate the country. Why didn't we evacuate the country when Osama bin Laden was killed? Because, it would just be too much. And the military industrial complex, of course, has a whole lot to do with that. Now we have, surprisingly, I think Biden has made the right decision. We cannot keep staying in a war that obviously lasted, I forget when this all started, 20 years ago. So that would be 2000?
2001.
2001. We stayed in we killed Osama bin Laden. That was in 2009?
I think 2011.
11 or something. Yeah, one of those years we should have been gone. And there was never any indication from our presidents, the past two, why it was that we were staying there. We can go with the lie. They were trying to spread democracy. They were trying to save the women and girls. Bull crap. We never cared about the women and girls. We never really cared about killing Osama bin Laden. We knew where he was. We knew what he was. We could have just found him and killed him and then just left, but we didn't want to. And now you have a situation where the execution of the evacuation it was laid out horribly. And I'm not sure, like you all said, was it just I don't know why they were not smart enough to know that the past administration didn't care two squats about the Afghan people and should have realized, they probably didn't plan for them to be evacuated like they did the soldiers and just somehow forgot about them. And now ISIS-K is back. Well, first of all, I thought ISIS was gone, and now they have a K after their name. Like, really? We're bringing back terrorist groups now? This whole thing, yes, I think Biden made the right decision. I still can't believe I'm saying that. But this execution, I don't know how this is going to play in his favor, because if you watch the media, they have been portraying this like, this is the worst thing that ever happened. How come we don't stay? Well, stay how long is my question. Stay 1 year, stay 5 years, stay 20 years, stay 50 years. We're not going to accomplish anything by staying longer. So I'm not sure, are people in the media influenced by that military industrial complex, or are they completely stupid? I'm going to go with completely stupid, because all you got to do is look at $2.5 trillion. Let's just say no lives were lost. I'm not even going to count the lives lost, because there's no cost that you can put to the loss of life. We could have spent that 2.5 on, I don't know, Medicare for all, child care, universal basic income. We could just pick something. We found money to pay for this, but it always gets in my mind, so we're going to ask, how can we pay for this other things that we want? But every time a war comes up, we find the money. well, no, where it came from, but we just find the money to pay for these. And it's really getting on my nerves. And I wish the media would stop promoting these forever wars because they're all just ridiculous. We stayed too long. I mean, I know we went to kill Osama bin Laden, but we accomplished that, what, 10 years ago?
At least.
Well, nothing would change staying longer.
No, it won't. That's what I'm like. Why do they want?
Really
Why?
doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense. Nobody ever wins a war.
No.
Nobody ever wins a war. The United States has never won a war. Either you quit or you just you lose.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost this war.
Oh, wait a minute, you forgot an option, Charles. You forgot one option. Or you just drop a bomb on a country because they attacked you.
Well, that's not a war. That's genocide. You go kill the people who you need to make a response to. It wasn't all the Afghan people that did this. This was the Al Qaeda who the Taliban was letting them stay in their country. It just came out the other day ago that what's his name? Bin Laden, he didn't even let the Mullah Omar, who was the leader of the Taliban at that time, he didn't even let them know that he was making that attack against the United States. And he said he didn't think he needed to. And I'm thinking, well, if you're in their country and you're going to bring some kind of response to their country, I think you should have let that country know what you were doing before you did it. Maybe they would have talked them out of attacking the Twin Towers in New York, but he didn't. So the whole thing is just crazy, that we would start a war. It seems it's easier to get into a war than it is to get out of a war.
And that's my point exactly. Why is it? And I feel like Biden was in a darn if he did and darn if he didn't type of situation, especially with the politics that's playing out of this. If he had said, okay, let's stay there, then the Republicans would have been like, well, we don't really need to stay there. You're putting lives in danger. And now he's trying to leave. And now they're saying, oh, no, we need to stay.
But it wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was Trump. Trump negotiated.
Yeah. We know
they were all for that. They were all for that then.
Yeah, they're completely, you're right, it was Trump. But they're not going to acknowledge that. They're completely ignoring that. They're putting that, they're squashing that. They're like, no, Biden, why can't you stay now? And I'm like, it's not going to accomplish anything, but they don't care. Hello, this is Tracy, and I want to let you know that the video that you just watched is just a snippet. And to see the whole wonderful episode, you need to be a Patreon. The link to be a Patreon is in the description section. Please check it out and please support. We need as much support as possible. Remember, you can always subscribe to our page and be notified when we get new videos. But if you want to see the whole video in its entirety, unedited, just off the cuff, no filters, no anything, be a Patreon. You can start as low as just $1 per month or $5 per month. We'll start to have polls. Sometimes I'll drop into the Patreon once we get a couple more members. But again, I just want to encourage you to support us on the Patreon. The link is in the description, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.